Tonight, we are filled with sadness and anxiety. We mourn the loss of Minnesota's public services.
In moments of need and crisis, people pull together to meet the needs of those hurting most. We've seen that both this year and in years past, whether tornadoes or flood, people pull together in those moments. They come from where they are to the places of where people need. They sacrifice themselves so that we can all pool what we have to give and to distribute all of our resources to those who need it most. That reality should not be limited to times when natural disasters occur. If you want to know the truth, this is not a budget crisis. It's not even a revenue crisis. It's a moral crisis.
We want the public to understand the services that are going to be lost in the next weeks and even years if the Republican budget passes.
I work with people who are over the age of 18, who are vulnerable, who are abused and neglected. Today, I got a layoff notice. And yes, I worry about paying my car payment and buying groceries, but I worry about the vulnerable people. There's not going to be anybody to answer that telephone. There's a lot of vulnerable people out there. There's a lot of people that will take advantage of the vulnerable. I also want to introduce you to my grandson. Hopefully he's in bed asleep at home with his mom. And I want you to meet my grandson because he has autism. And he's among the growing number of young Minnesotans with autism. He has a much better chance of being successful if Minnesota shows up and provides the services that he needs. So I want the GOP to take a really close look. You are turning your back on Minnesota children just to protect the richest 2%. And as a grandmother, I want to say to you, shame on you.
Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you.
What's most troubling to me is that I, as a laid-off state worker, realize the risk from chemical spills and natural disasters if nobody's there. If a big tornado comes or a big flood happens, we're the ones that get called to help put the cleanup plans together when towns get overwhelmed. We're not there. We don't have enough people to do that because my agency's shut down.
I help protect Minnesota's groundwaters and surface waters. I am laid off and I can no longer do that. I can no longer protect Minnesota's surface waters and groundwaters. I am pissed.
And most importantly, the people who need the money the most, the renters' rebates, will not be going out in the month of July while we're shut down.
We help people buy homes, do home improvement loans. We collect mortgages on apartment buildings. A lot of these services that we do for homeless people and foreclosure prevention. Hello? Is anybody listening?
Airfield Firefighter at the Duluth Airport and Air National Guard Base. Fire department is like a family, and in 2 hours, 6 of my brothers are going to be laid off, including some that are on duty right now.
I'm sad because I don't know if I'm going to see my beautiful children in the morning because the parents have to make a decision what they have to do. They either going to lose their jobs or they're going to suffer trying to pay high child care, whereas they're getting assistance from the state. So I'm just asking the legislators to feel down deep in their heart and see who are they hurting. They are hurting us as the people who work for our state. I'm just asking the legislators to think about the children.
Because they've refused to ask the richest 42,000 Minnesotans to step up to the plate and pay close to their fair share of taxes, I look around me and I see thousands of Minnesotans who are going to be without a job. And it's not just us state workers. It's all the people in construction projects, home health care aides, thousands of other people. Every day we hear more in the media about the people who are being directly impacted, driving the state's economy, which is struggling out of the worst recession since the Great Depression, back into a recession.
Tax the rich! Tax the rich!
middle-income people in this state pay about 12.1% of their income in taxes. We're asking people who make over $350,000 a year, who are now paying at least 2% to 3% less than that. Millionaires are even paying less, to pay the same share of their income in taxes as an average middle-class Minnesotan. If they simply do that, we can solve this budget problem with a balanced approach of cuts and revenue increases. So this isn't crazy. It's not out of line.